Guinea-Bissau, a tiny country on West Africa's Atlantic coast, smaller than many of its neighbors' provinces, is going to the polls today under a heavy shadow. Here, the ballot box has never been fully safe from the barrel of a gun. Since independence, no president has ever peacefully won re-election. Power has changed hands as often through barracks whispers as through ballots. As Guinea-Bissau votes on the 23rd of November 2025, the country stands at a crossroads. To understand why today matters, we must return to 5 turbulent decades where the promise of liberation slowly became entangled in coups, mutinies, narco-trafficking, and bitter civil-military rivalry. Under Portuguese rule, Portuguese Guinea was a neglected outpost. In the early 1960s, Amílcar Cabral and the PAIGC launched one of Africa's most effective guerrilla struggles. By 1973, they controlled most of the countryside and declared independence. Portugal recognized Guinea-Bissau in 1974 after its own revolution. Just 6 years later, the first coup struck. On the 14th of November 1980, Prime Minister João Bernardo Nino Vieira, a former guerrilla commander, overthrew President Luís Cabral. A revolutionary council of officers assumed power, establishing the army as kingmaker. In 1998, a military mutiny triggered an 11-month civil war. By 1999, Vieira was overthrown and forced into exile, the second successful coup in all but name. Kumba Ayala was elected in 2000 with high hopes. But after years of chaos and political paralysis, the military stepped in again in September 2003, arresting Ayala and installing a transitional government. In 2005, Nino Vieira made a dramatic comeback. But instability deepened, fueled by rival security factions and rising drug trafficking. In 2009, the army chief was killed in a bomb blast, and hours later, soldiers assassinated Vieira in revenge. In 2012, during a tense presidential runoff, the military struck again. The coup halted the election, arrested the frontrunner, and plunged the country into isolation. By then, Guinea-Bissau had recorded 4 successful coups and over 17 attempted or alleged coups. In 2014, civilian rule returned with President José Mario Vaz. But politics remained unstable. In 2019, Umaro Sissoko Embalo claimed victory amid disputes. ECOWAS recognized him in 2020, a soft coup in the eyes of critics. In February 2022, gunfire erupted at the government palace in what Embalo called a failed coup attempt. In December 2023, clashes between National Guard troops and presidential forces erupted after 2 ministers were freed from custody. Embalo dissolved parliament again. Today, Guinea-Bissau arrives at another election under tension. A dispute over the president's mandate, arrests of military officers accused of plotting, a weakened parliament, a lingering narco-state reputation, and a population exhausted by instability. Guinea-Bissau's future hangs in the balance. This election is not just about choosing a leader. It is about breaking a 50-year cycle where the barracks overshadow the ballot box. Will this vote finally allow the people's will to stand, without the echo of gunfire rewriting it? Information for this documentary was sourced from Wikipedia, UNESCO, Reuters, Encyclopedia Britannica, Dullah Omar Institute. The World from PRX, the New Humanitarian UN News, The Guardian EV Zurich Peace Files, African Union Peace and Security, World Bank, The Africa Report, Brill CN News, Xinhua News France. 24 Voice of America, African News, AP News, and other publicly accessible records.